At the beginning of Genesis chapter 6, there's a lot of stuff going on the earth that God doesn't like. I mean, it's so bad he's decided he is going to wipe out the whole earth. Everything. But, verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. What does that mean, he found grace? Well, I looked it up in the Strongs. And the word that is translated grace can mean graciousness, subjective. It can be kindness or favor, or objective. It can mean beauty. It can be translated favor, grace, or gracious, pleasant, precious, or well-favored. And you say, well, that's what I want. I want to find grace in the eyes of the Lord. I want to have favor from God. Do you? Did you know that it might be a little bit of responsibility if God shows you favor? You ever think about it? Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Then what happened? Noah spent a few hundred years building an ark, living amongst a people who were against him, who were persecuting him, who were laughing at him. It was work. He had to go cut down the wood, following God's plan. He had to build the ark according to God's specifications. So many cubits long, so many cubits high, 3 levels. You got to finish it with pitch. He had to find the pitch, okay? He had to harvest the pitch. And then there were the animals. He was responsible for gathering all the animals, 2 of every kind. And he had to bring in all the food to feed not only him and his family, but all these animals that were going to be in the ark. And he didn't know how long he was going to be in the ark. I mean, it had never rained before. He didn't even know what rain was. But God tells him, okay, you have found favor with me. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to build a boat. I want it to be this big. You got to use this kind of wood. You got to use pitch. You got to get food. No, I'm not going to tell you how much food or how long you're going to be there, but this is what all you got to do. You found favor in my eyes. You ever think about that? There was a lot of responsibility that was given to Noah. I mean, he saved the entire human race, but it was a lot of work. So the next time you're claiming the favor of God, just remember that the favor of God comes with a lot of work. Now, there was a preacher, you've probably heard of him, Jerry Savelle. He was a man who had a lot of favor with God. A lot of favor. That man worked and worked and worked and worked. Yes, he had favor with God, but that didn't mean he didn't have to go out and work. He had to study the Word of God. He had to preach. He had a ministry to run. He had administrative tasks to do. He had to stand on the Word of God. He had to have faith that God would provide all the needs that there were for him and his family and his ministry. So yes, we can have favor with God. But when you get that favor and grace, just remember, you're going to have to work. Think about it.